Welcome to Quantum Finance. My name is Parker. I'm the head trader here, but I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. So in today's video, we'll take a look at the economic data. We'll go over some news. We'll do a market recap, and then we will look at the trading opportunities from today. So starting here on the economic data, we do have U.S. initial jobless claims come in worse than expected here at 228,000 with 200,000 expected. Looking at the calendar, tomorrow is a holiday for Good Friday. Stock market will be closed. But we do get non-farm payrolls and the unemployment rate. So we'll look at some news here. Here we have the ISM services business supplier deliveries and ISM manufacturing business supplier deliveries. As you can see, they're constantly continuing to just get a big plunge here. And this is the top U.S. banks by uninsured deposits. As you can see, a lot of these banks, like a lot of these mega banks that you recognize here, like over majority of all the deposits they have in their bank are uninsured. And this is the small caps to large cap ratio here, getting down here towards the March 2020 levels. And we do have 3 congressmen introducing a gold standard bill to stabilize the US dollar. This is really cool to see, but I mean, this will never happen because the Fed and the government will bring out the tanks and the guns and start going door to door before they get rid of the fiat system. And so we do have the IRS to hire 30,000 new employees with an additional $80 billion in funding to increase tax enforcement. And we do have Saudi and Iranian foreign ministers meeting in China today. This makes the first high-level meeting between the two sides since 2016. The process of building mutual trust has been, going along here in the BRICS nations. And this is a chart of skilled versus unskilled jobs. The white is unskilled jobs, the ones that take less than a college degree to do. As you can see, they're constantly rising with the skilled jobs that require a college degree declining here. And we do have BlackRock Paris headquarters, BlackRock is a $10 trillion asset manager. It was raided and, broken into and destroyed basically today by protesters in Paris. And this is the government spending versus CPI over the last 20 years. As you can see, the government spending has increased by 185%, while CPI has increased by 64%. So now we'll look at the charts here. Starting in the debt market, we do have the 10-year yield getting a red day here with a pretty nice wick off of this lower daily extreme here, and wicking off that lower extreme on the weekly chart as well. Dollar, we do have a a green day here in the dollar, bouncing after wicking off that lower extreme here on the weekly chart yesterday. Stocks, we do have a green day in stocks today, turning green on the week here. Bitcoin, another red day here, and Bitcoin getting extremely tight. The bands are starting to go horizontal here. Red on the week, we have just been sitting up here at this upper extreme on the weekly chart. So I would definitely expect a move, in Bitcoin either coming up tomorrow or over the weekend. If not, then extremely, extremely soon, because we are getting a squeeze here. And I do want to point out that this MACD is crossing to the downside, and it's pretty high up here. So, if I had to bet, I mean, I don't really trade cryptos that much, but if I had to bet, I'm assuming it might squeeze to the downside here with this MACD cross, and this weekly kind of overextended here. Maybe to pull into these this previous high as a retest, around this 25,000 level here. Just kind of pull in and let this weekly midline kind of catch up, and then we get a nice bounce off of that, hopefully. But yeah, this squeeze is about to play out soon, and I would probably bet that it's going to be to the downside. But, we'll see what happens. XRP, another green day here in XRP, not really going anywhere quite yet. Just still kind of sitting here at the upper end of this daily range with that trade line coming up here, or that midline coming up. Still, wicking off that upper extreme on the weekly chart. Turning to commodities, we have oil still sitting up here in this gap range. Really, nothing to talk about since we did get that massive gap up here. Gold, we do have a red day in gold after kind of peaking yesterday. Not really able to get up there and touch all-time highs quite yet. Silver, green day here in silver, pretty big wick to the upside here. Just kind of sitting overextended up here to the upside at the upper end of his daily range. I would probably look for it to hold around the top of this, previous resistance up here. So we can get a push up to that upper extreme here on the monthly chart. So now we'll look at the trading opportunities from today. We'll start here with our volume analysis on the S&P. Another super low volume day. Gosh, it's been really low volume. I mean, I'm looking for some big vol spikes, I mean, the trading was so fun, all throughout like the beginning to middle of March. I mean, we were just getting massive volume. But for the past, 2 weeks, it's been pretty dry besides on Friday, the end of the month. So yeah, another low volume day, but we did get a nice kind of green day here with recovery. Flipping green here on the month and the quarter and the week. So now we'll look at the 5-minute, see what kind of action we got. So if you remember yesterday, we had that pullback in the morning and then slight recovery. Today we did get a gap down here in the SPY. Then we kind of got a slight sell-off pulling into yesterday's lows before really recovering and just going straight up most of the day. And then just, kind of closing sideways here on top of yesterday's highs. So yeah, bouncing off of yesterday's lows and then sitting up here and closing above yesterday's highs. We'll zoom out a little more here. So as you can see, we'll start down here in the 30-minute. As you can see, we did get a double bottom here off of that lower band. And you can look at the hourly too. We also got a double bottom off that lower extreme here. And if you look up here at the 2-hour, we did just hold that 2-hour 20 EMA. And we are getting extremely tight here, or starting to get pretty tight here on the 2-hour bands. So I would expect some maybe type of large move to happen soon. But yeah, we really couldn't break down. I thought maybe we could have gone a little lower, coming in down to here, this high right here, and then this 50-day moving average. But we held that. We held these lower extremes here, and we held this 2-hour 20 EMA. You look at the relativity. As you can see, the relativity here, we have the SPY and the NASDAQ. Pretty similar, just kind of getting a little dump in the morning and then going straight up and then going sideways for the rest of the day. As you can see, the SPY did get a little higher relativity here, with the SPY getting a close above yesterday's highs, where the Qs were not able to get above yesterday's highs. So yeah, now we'll go back to the 5-minute. For the SPY, when it comes to the trading, I really didn't like any trades on this, because it was kind of bearish through here. It was pretty bearish, but then we just got that huge spike up and just. There was really no opportunities because, this did not look like a good entry for call options. Then we just got this straight shot up and then, nothing else. So there really wasn't any good squeezes or patterns or anything I really liked here on the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ for any type of trade. But there was a good trade today here on AMC. AMC did have some news about, had something to do with a court case they were in. They got something rejected by the courts here. U.S. court denies AMC's request to proceed with co-plans for increasing authorized common shares, a stock conversion, and a reverse split. So it looks like they got rejected from doing a reverse split and, adding more shares. So as you can see here, we got a nice, really big gap up here, a nice push up through this 20 simple moving average. Pull back, consolidation, squeeze with upward momentum. And then we got a nice push up and break through the highs. So your entry was like in here as it really started getting squeezing and these bands started going sideways with that momentum shift to the upside. And we can zoom out. As you can see here, we had that 15-minute come in and catch the bid and really push it up there to the highs. In this line that we topped out at here was this previous high from, what was this? This was from Monday. This was Monday's high. So yeah, I just drew a line up here from Monday's high because I thought, that's where we were headed. And, sure enough, that's where we topped out. and we did have that 1 hour band lining up with that level. That's the main reason why I like that level, because this upper 1 hour extreme was lining up with this Monday's high. So yeah, we did like that as a sell target, as a resistance target to get out on. But yeah, I had these call options pulled up here. We did have the $5 strike call options here. Next week's expiration here, and so your entry was going to be around in here, somewhere in this level. So we'll call it on the upper end about 28 cents. And on that first push, to the rejection, or this first push kind of up here to retest the highs, is about a 9% gain. And then on that extension up to Monday's highs, we are looking at about a 62% gain. So yeah, really nice trade here on AMC. We can go to the daily chart so you can check that out. As you see, just getting a really nice volume here. But yeah, just gap up here, and we were getting through that midline there, and we were holding above that midline. So I did think that was pretty bullish. You have that midline here. So yeah, really good trade here on AMC. There really wasn't that many other good trades today. I mean, not really at all. We did like AMC because it was obviously at the top of the board with a ton more volume than anything else, and it also had like a really nice setup. But there was Google had like a decent looking chart here. It didn't have the best squeeze because it was just super strong. As you can see, we didn't get a momentum shift to the downside with a reversal, but we just kind of we didn't even zero out either. We just kind of got that pullback with the squeeze here. I mean, we just got a slight dip before just getting a monster continuation. So Google did have like a squeeze here that did lead to a massive move. We can zoom out here. As you can see, it had a pretty nice daily chart just after getting a double bottom bounce off that midline and just getting a breakout here through the 20 seconds highs, and just kind of getting a nice breakout up towards this level and breaking out of these levels too. So yeah, Google making a new high on the year here. So yeah, we did like that. It did have a really nice daily chart. AMC and Google is what we were watching. After just doing daily chart analysis, they did have the best looking ones. But yeah, we didn't get the best squeeze here, but it was a really nice trade. Had a nice move. As you can see, this is where that squeeze happened when we did get that slight pullback here. And we did have that 15-minute trade line come in and catch the bid before pushing it to highs. And if you look up here at the 2 hour, I drew this line from this high up here. And that is where we broke out of, kind of pulled back in, held above, got that trade line to come in, and we got our squeeze with our push to the upside. So really nice move here on Google on this breakout to new highs on the year. I didn't really like this one. I mean, I liked it, like the chart itself, but I didn't like the momentum here. But, it made a really nice move if you were going to play some squeezes today. Yeah, so I think that was pretty much the only trades I liked today. AMC, and I didn't like Google that much, but it did make a nice move. It did have one of the best charts. So I kind of liked it, but, AMC was pretty much what we were focused on today because it really had a really nice setup here. So yeah, solid green day here, just kind of sitting up here at the upper end of this daily range, with that squeeze coming in on the 2 hour chart. So I would expect maybe some volatility, maybe a volume spike to come in pretty soon here on the S&P 500. But yeah, that should do it for the video. I appreciate y'all watching, and I will talk to y'all later.